May I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Welcome to the Contagion Effect Show with your hosts, Mike Ellick and Eric Mello.
What's up, Eric?
What's cracking, baby?
What was that?
What's cracking, baby? Well, I was going to go one of two ways. I was going to go, ladies and gentlemen, that may be the last time you've seen that introduction. Dot. To be determined.
That's how you were going to start it?
I was going to start
without
like
the introduction.
So sad.
Yeah.
It might be gone.
Hopefully it's gone. Hopefully we have something else by next week.
Welcome to the Contagion Effect Show.
As I get a cough right when I start.
Yeah, you're coughing my allergies for like the last 3 days, so bear with me if I sniffle and snort my snot back up.
It's all right. My wife gave me that
cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
She gave you some.
Cheers. Well,
Yeah.
she gave me that peanut butter cup, and then I ate it. And
I know.
I don't know where I
sitting
set
over.
my water. I mean, I have the wine. But I set my
yeah.
water somewhere. It's all right. We'll figure it out. We need to get on with the show.
Welcome everybody to the Contagion Effect Show. Thank you for joining us live from Houston, California, and around the world on all of your media
Is
social.
this our new?
That's the new. It's the energy, bro.
It's the energy.
It's the energy that came back with me from when we went to American Veterans First last week.
Yes.
I brought a bunch of things and stuff, and I'm gonna have to grab them.
You set them down somewhere else.
I set them down. I
You
set them
just had
down.
an hour to get this right.
I set them down upstairs because we're downstairs in the studio.
Right.
And there's a lot of information that we got last week. Was awesome. And I think it's going to be very pertinent to our guest today. I know he has some questions. Military guy, right?
Okay.
I went to school with him. I consider him a brother, even though he lives roughly 3,000 miles away, which are going to be cut in half, apparently, which is kind of cool.
Found out,
which we literally just found out. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Walter Cronkite. Breaking news.
Okay,
So-
you're on one today.
Yeah. Oh, no, I am, because I can also segue off to that about talking about old TV shows and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So we're watching this show called Shazam, Beat Shazam. It's with Jamie Foxx and his daughter is a little DJ girl on it.
Right.
They play clips of music.
Right.
And so we were talking about something and the clue, it was like Fraggle Rock. And Brooklyn's like, and I went down at Fraggle Rock. You know, that little guy at the end.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn was looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I said, you got to look it up. And she just started rolling, played the whole little clip.
Fraggle
It was
Rock.
awesome.
Yeah, you can find them all over
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Somehow I
So-
came across them. So
Well, I assume that you had a good week because here we are, right?
yeah, I guess
We're not dead.
No,
We've made it through another week.
We're here. And we need to get to our guest. So because
know.
he is on the East Coast and
He's got his
we're
kid
gonna
with
keep
him.
him. Yeah.
Got one of his boys. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure and privilege to welcome my good buddy from back in the day, Don Solinger. Welcome. Even the dog got it.
even the dog was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, in the studio we have two Rottweilers that bark, so don't mind them, Don.
Even
Sorry.
security's like, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, they're all fired
Dogs up in here. What's up,
Guys,
buddy?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me,
Oh,
guys.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
just so you know, the only thing I hear cracking is Eric's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But you heard it when it did
Yeah.
crack.
hey,
Yeah.
all I know, I'm just saying. I mean, we're La Loma, we're Lancers. I mean,
we are one of two,
yeah,
no, maybe three, to ever have wrestled for coach for 6 years in a row.
yeah, and that was something that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I know there was a statement at the last wrestling meet or the last wrestling banquet that we had about that, which was pretty awesome. And that was pretty cool. Even though I did suck in junior high though. Actually, I need to actually remove myself from that because I only did 5. I only did my 8th grade year. I didn't know wrestling. So
maybe it was me and I think there's one other. There's one other. It's not just me. No, it's I think Thomas.
He was younger than me. Who?
Thomas, maybe? Jeff Thomas?
Oh, he wasn't our grade though.
No, he's older.
Yeah, he was our anyways, yeah. So I needed to correct that. I couldn't let it go because we've got the internet and social media and people can go back and say, right. So I'll wrap myself out.
There first. You go.
And I cheated on my taxes too. I said that I claimed something that I didn't.
I never cheat on my taxes.
Wow.
Big brother's listening.
You know this is played everywhere, right?
Alexa,
we actually have a judge that listens to us. Did you know that?
No.
We have a judge.
Nice. Is he federal?
No, her name is Judge Judy.
No. All right, Don. So first off, thank you. If I let Eric go crazy, he'll do.
This will be off the hook.
It will. And speaking of that coach, I actually have a connection to that coach as well.
This is the crazy part. Check this out.
And it's not even through high school. It's actually through my oldest kid. Played with one of his sons.
And it wasn't even for wrestling.
Yeah, it was baseball. Yeah. Playing all-star baseball with him. So
wrestlers don't play baseball.
And coach was the coach of the team, the all-star team. So.
Actually, his kids are athletes.
Yeah,
that's
his
kid.
Yeah. I mean, they break their arm and stuff and shoulder in the wrestling room, and they come back and play for more.
Unreal.
And he's like, he's like, I didn't realize he was a wrestling coach because you talk to some wrestling coaches. And
his names aren't bowed out. You don't look like parentheses. you know what I'm saying,
dude?
Mark's online.
I wanted to name my first son after him, but I couldn't. Because my brother-in-law was going to be the middle name. So Anthony Scott Solinger, I could do that to my kid.
Oh, Solinger. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Oh, dude. See, I want to segue off to Bruce Allen Davis. I want to segue off to Bruce Allen Davis, which ended tragically.
By the way, before we go any further, you guys made me feel jealous.
Buddy.
So I brought one. Cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
Hey. Cheers, buddy boy.
So we'll actually jump.
It's like you watched an episode of us or something. Hold on now.
Because we actually ask every episode, we ask everybody, hey, when you're just relaxing and you're chilling out, what's your go-to drink?
I
don't believe it's Corona.
Hold on. No, it's not. It's not. The Corona I could get because I could have my 14-year-old bring it to me.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a Corona Light Cornita. Okay, it was like the least amount of calories, the least amount of beer. Like that wasn't full on.
the drink of choice, and don't look down on me.
Gin and tonic.
You can't look down on me. No, God.
Come on.
Dr. Pepper and Crown Apple.
Yeah, I've actually heard some people say that.
Dude,
I've actually heard that.
Dude, the bomb.
Yeah,
the bomb.
Huh?
You're such a girl. You're such a girl.
Crown is not a girl.
Crown
thing.
Apple, bro. Crown. Unless you're Indian, you're just drinking Crown. Shout out to Ranjit, my friend, my buddy.
And I'm over here drinking wine, and
Mike's over there
wine.
figured out.
Dude, I got wine, crap, and you guys got wine and beer and a bottle of water.
Wine, beer, bottle of water.
Yeah. Only I lost my bottle of water somewhere, so who knows?
Shoot.
In my own house. It's all good stuff.
So real quick, I do. We need to speed this along because I have a bunch of questions I need to ask you.
Nothing on there.
I need to ask you. I got all these questions I gotta ask you. Okay. About your life and where you grew up and everything. No, dude. So let's get into it. You grew up in Modesto, right? You grew up close to junior high. You had that walking distance thing going on.
I'm gonna throw a little in here, and for those that are our age and they grew up in the area, they're gonna know this. But God may she rest in peace. Lacey.
Yeah.
I walked by the house that she lived in.
Yeah.
To go to high school for the first 2.5 years of my high school career. So God bless her, but right next to Loma, I walked through the park and jumped over the little creek and walked.
Was it the house? Was it the house she grew up in, or the house that they?
It's the house they lived in.
Well, you realize it just sold for a 5th time since that all happened, right?
Yeah.
Which was the big news this last month, was that it just sold for a 5th time.
There's a reason. There's a reason why it's going to sell for a 6th time. I mark my word, that house will be up for sale within 2 years.
You think so?
I will bet you. I'll bet you $20. Yeah. So Lacey grew up on my side of the street because we went to kindergarten.
On his side of town.
On my side of town. Because listen, Don's on this other side of the creek. He just said he had to jump a creek, so he shouldn't be on that side of the town.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Listen, Oakdale Road goes this way for a reason. Okay, the creek's this way. It separates things. I'm just saying. No, but it's you know, I mean, that's one of those things where I went down when it all happened. I went down and searched the bank, went down the creek all the way down underneath Beard and with him and his dad actually. And it was like one of those things where you just didn't know, you didn't know. I had met him a couple times before and not thought anything of it. But yeah, so anyways, rest in peace. That's it's a story to be told later.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah.
So grew up in Modesto and obviously went to junior high and high school there and we wrestled for the same awesome coach.
Yeah.
He helped for my life. He was truly part of the person who raised me.
I just said that last week too.
Yep.
He is part of, if not more reason than my real father. God
rest his soul. Yeah, he just passed away. 3 or 4 years ago, right?
13. Yeah, he passed in 13
okay.
right after my accident. So, but we spent so much time with the man, and we learned so much from him. Not only about wrestling but about life.
It was more about it was more about life than wrestling. Because
honestly, yeah. Hold on though. Did you take his typing class?
Dude, I sat in the front row. You had to sit in the front row. You had to sit in the front row. What are you doing, Mello? Nothing. Click, 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 click. Come on. Palms on. I'm like, come on.
You teaching a typing class.
Yeah, well, he was student teaching at the time.
Oh, okay.
So he was getting his foot in wherever he could.
Okay.
And actually, our senior year, he was the AD. Well, I think it was assistant AD, but I think they ended up putting him in like mid-year.
Mm-hmm.
I need to fact check that, but I know he was when we got to the end of the wrestling season, into the tournaments and stuff. There was a few times where he had to go off and go do, because at the end of the wrestling season.
Hold on. When Eric got to those tournaments, because Don sucked and he lost.
Listen, no. Appreciate it, but what I'm saying is, end of the year tournaments. You have everything going on,
right?
May you have when you go to a bigger school, they have diving and water sports and tennis and soccer, and it's all going on at one time. The basketball or football and baseball, or sorry, baseball and softball, track and field, and all that stuff. And so there's a few times where you're like, okay, now it's like real. It's,
right.
He's got us to this point. Now it's our turn to step up. And I will say, unfortunately, my last tournament, I didn't step up as much as I should have. And I will always regret that, not taking that week more serious than I should have. And that's just something I regret towards him for all the stuff that he had poured into me, But like Don said, that's the thing about Coach. So
right.
That's just who the guy he is. It was more than just a sport. It was helping raise you turn you into a decent human. So
we've said all this. What high school was it? I know what high school was.
DOWNEY.
Is there another one?
Downey High.
But hold on, there's a Downey in SoCal.
Well, there's a Downey in Downey. That doesn't count.
Thomas Downey.
There you go. All right, in Modesto.
Home of the Knights.
Downey.
Home of the Knights.
Because my mom, Downey. I think, went to Downey High School in SoCal.
Oh, nice.
So that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a Downey, California.
Well, no, I knew that. I just didn't know if Mike's mom went there.
Yeah, I don't. I think she did.
Good. She's a great supporter of the Contagion.
She is.
Let's leave her mom out of the. Let's leave his mom out of the conversation. It's very
no, I can't because she's literally watching.
She's one of our. She literally likes and comments on everything.
Mom, so. I love you. You're awesome. Please,
between his mom and Nana Penny, like I think.
Well, Nino's mom.
Oh, Nino. Yes. We got the mom effect.
Miss Bailey. Yeah, we do. We do. Nice. So Don, you know, we know you guys had the awesome career with Coach, who is, by the way, going to be on the show in a couple weeks. On the
show. We're going to redo this again.
Yeah. So,
why did you decide to go in the military after high school? What was that turning point? Like, why did you not just go to JC with us and do that?
You know, I was going to JC. I went to JC, but honestly, man, I worked midnights at a 7-Eleven. I remember my sister worked for a company that did some distribution to them. The guy was really nice, gave me a job. I worked midnights. So I worked midnights. I'd go to school, get off, sleep, get out of school, sleep, go back to work, school. And it was awful. And to be honest, I love my brothers, but I didn't want to turn out like them.
Yeah.
And for my family, not getting out of there, I may have turned out like them, and I did not want that.
Yeah,
right.
So one of our classmates, I'm going to leave his name out though, got me to join the military with him. So he and I went to Army together. We went to the same boot camp.
Okay.
But by the time we got to rifle marksmanship, he'd gone AWOL 3 times already.
Oh.
So long story short, while I was sitting in the crowd and they were court-martialing him on the stage, they said, "Is there anybody you'd like to speak on your behalf?" And he looked at me and I go,
Don't bring me into this.
And that was the last time I ever saw the guy.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So he was part of the reason I went, but the main reason I went is because honestly, I didn't want to end up like, some of my brothers had.
Yeah.
So where was your boot camp at?
I went to Fort Benning.
Gosh, dang it! I would have paid $20 right now.
Infantry, Army Infantry is Fort Benning.
Okay.
So I went there, and then I went to Fort Stewart, Georgia.
Okay.
Which is just a little further south near Savannah. Spent 2.5 years there. While I was there, met the first Mrs. Solinger.
I like how he's dude, I need to get a little counter on the screen. Okay, there's one.
Where's my
there's one.
It's only gonna go to 2.
Oh, well, you're the one that I made my first.
I got it right there. One.
There's the tally.
One. Don's wives
count. You got to do Don's wife count.
Well, I put plural, so wives.
So when Don goes up to everybody, he introduces himself. Hey, do you want to be my future ex?
Oh, no. The story's going to get a little bit better as we go. Just,
okay.
You guys are going to get a bunch of laughs. And to be honest, there's a song kind of that sings about my life.
Hey, we got songs that sing about things. So what was your MOS?
Gosh, you sucker! You got so obviously we didn't go to military, right? So we're picking up all this stuff, and that was the question before Mike started talking about why. I was gonna be like, "Hey, so what's your MOS?" We need to learn.
So I'm going to tell you what it is, but you see if you can tell me what it is. 11 Mike Charlie 2.
11 Mike Charlie 2. Where's all our followers to comment?
Yeah,
we've had some shows where.
Wait, what was it?
11 Mike.
11 Mike Charlie.
No, don't cheat.
He's totally cheating.
11 Mike Charlie 2. 11 series is infantry.
Okay.
The M stands for mechanized. B would be
loud and clear.
Ground or Bravo, which is so that's not military. That's actually from
is that SWAT?
2006, 2007 time period. I was a SWAT sniper.
See, our Facebook sniper didn't do a good job. He didn't find the right picture, so we'll come back to that.
Stuff. You're the computer guru.
Yeah.
You're the computer guru.
It's all good. So you were the 11th mechanized.
Yeah, exactly. Mechanized infantry. Charlie 2 stands for back in the day, tow gunner. So I was a little short, stubby guy, thick enough to carry, and I say stubby instead of fat, thick enough to carry a tow missile. Yeah. So they gave me the tow missile to carry too. But
the tow missile.
So I was mechanized infantry my entire military career.
So you rolled around in the Humvees, or was it different?
No, we actually were Bradleys. So we had the infantry.
So it's more
fighting vehicles.
Okay, so it's more that, is it between a tank and a Humvee, kind of like
it
an
is.
in-betweener?
It's a tracked vehicle, but it has the turret on it with a gun.
Okay.
So when I got out, I was a sergeant. I was a gunner for a company commander.
Okay.
And had my track, and then the other track in my squad was the lieutenant's track. I was the gunner, so it had a 25 millimeter Bushmaster cannon and an M60 on it.
Nice.
And it was pretty cool. It was a good time.
So did you go anywhere international? Out of country?
I didn't. I never did. While I was in Georgia, I volunteered for Kuwait, Bosnia, and Egypt.
Okay.
I just never got to go. They never selected me. Maybe I wasn't that good. And then
maybe you were too good.
Now, were you friends? Did you know Justin Wood?
Oh, absolutely.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
We had his parents on a while back.
Oh, I did not know that.
See, yeah, no, it's there's something wrong with my Thomas Downey alumni page.
Now, hold on. In my defense, I do have a brain injury. I had a medically documented. I have a medically documented brain injury, so I'm going to get away with this one and say he was killed in the barracks bombing, correct?
Khobar
Towers.
Khobar Towers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
June 26th. I think it was.
Yeah, 1996.
25th.
It was just before my birthday.
Yeah, 1996.
Yeah, we had them on. We went to my point was there's the alumni page lacks leadership.
That's a very political way to put it.
Yeah, because Mike looked at me like, dude, I don't want to edit this. He gave me the look.
We're live right now.
Yeah, no, we're live. So
this part's uneditable.
Yeah,
the podcast I can edit, but
so whatever I say can be just heard.
Yes,
that's gonna be live. And
it's weird how it works.
Yeah.
All right. So you do your time. Did you just do your what is it? 3 to 4 years?
I actually re-enlisted.
You did? Okay.
Georgia. Ended up going to Colorado Springs.
Okay.
At the time, I just married my first wife.
One.
While I was in Georgia.
Okay.
And then we moved.
And that's where Jake came from.
Nope. Well, it's the mother, but Jake didn't come along for years.
Yeah, we're still.
So
I think we're still in the
2000s. So I got this was in 94 to 96.
Oh, we're real young.
I got married in November 96. Moved to Colorado Springs in 97, but I only stayed there until July of 99. I ended up getting out.
Okay.
I was putting a warrant officer back in to fly helicopters. I ended up coming down on orders for Germany, and they said, well, you can put in a year after you get there. And I'm like, wait, that's 2 years from now. I made the decision going to get out, and I've unknowingly made the decision in 2 of my careers to get out at the absolute best time possible.
Yeah.
So I got out just before 9/11.
Oh wow.
So I got out in 99, and a couple of years later.
Yeah, we all know what happened.
Been in still, so we all know what happened.
Right.
And then when I got out in 99, moved to South Florida. And
why?
So
why?
How'd you go from Colorado to Florida?
Why not Palm Springs? Why not Laguna?
Why not Modesto, California?
Yeah, I would have kicked your ass if you would have moved back to Modesto after that.
Who's your governor?
The governor.
Yeah, back then it was.
But it was political. Like that, the reason you're like
no, absolutely
politically charged, I believe is what I was trying to say. And
no, absolutely not. No, my first wife was from South Florida, so we moved back to where her family is because she wanted to be near her parents and her sister, and I understood that. And to be honest, I didn't want to be near my family.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I love them, but visits like prison visits are good enough for me.
Dude,
bedside.
I love you,
visits,
man. You're already just straight up.
Yeah.
Just
No,
no jokes.
Yeah.
I mean,
if my
jokes,
mom
but-
were on here, she should agree with me. So
Yeah.
That's
She wishes
awesome.
she could do the same thing too.
So you move into Florida. You've just spent all this time in the military.
Man, dude,
You're married.
dude took off when he went to Southeast Motorcade. I'm calling it the Motorcade.
well,
That's disrespectful. It's not a motorcade.
No. I technically at
Thank
times it's considered a motorcade.
Thank you.
So in January of 2000, I was hired by Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
Okay.
And
you're like
went to
in the hardest
academy and
spring
so forth.
break, right? Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
That's
dude,
the.
It used to be. It used to be. But you know, it calmed down over the years. The city really pushed everybody out prior to me becoming a cop.
Oh, really?
So it was actually kind of light compared
Okay.
to what it used to be. And it's really never built back up just because, you know, they make sure it doesn't.
Well, remember, I mean, I know we all watched MTV during our high school years, right? And that was Fort Lauderdale. That was like the place
I watched
to
for
go.
the views.
Yeah, there were still videos back then. But yeah, it was Fort Lauderdale. They always had the spring break edition was there for MTV.
Always. So when I got hired, it was still a spring break crowd, but it wasn't like it was when we watched it on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Those days had long passed, and they pushed that crowd out.
Right.
So I'm very fortunate. I got hired in January 2000, and
Retired January 10th.
Here you go.
Well,
Eric, you can't talk because Eric's
you
gonna
can't cut me
just
off.
go to
No.
the end of the story.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go to the end of the
He's
story.
got to the
Okay,
end of the
next
story.
one.
I'm excited. Like I remember it.
I know.
So in January, September of 2001, I got on motors.
Oh,
At the time, I was the youngest guy on motors. I think the quickest to get on motors, the most junior officer. Very fortunate. It was a prized position, excuse me, and had a great time. I was able to, during my motor career, 17 and a half years, I was able to travel the country, everywhere from South Florida to Wisconsin, Louisiana, Texas, California, Nevada.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you get to travel? Compete for what?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Oh, look at that.
Wait, the Southeast Police Motorcycle Rodeo.
Yeah.
How many
So
years? How many years champion?
I was only champion one time for the overall, which overall means the best overall, as in the cone course, the timed course, the slow ride, and the challenge ride, which is a ride nobody knows about until they get in it and ride it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I only won that one time, and that was back in 2010.
That's all it takes.
But I will tell you, the picture in the bottom left corner, I believe that picture was from 2006 in Rancho Cordova, California.
Yes, it was.
And I got to tell you, that is my best and longest slow ride ever.
Really?
So that obstacle was so big. I want to say my time was in the 3 minutes.
Wow.
And it was just ungodly ridiculous. I mean, when I got into the first time, you could pay $5 to ride it a second or as many times as you wanted. And a guy walks up, he goes, "I'll pay the $5 to watch you go again."
Wow.
So I did it again, and that's what I ended up winning by. But yeah, when we took that motorcycle back, it was a bike loaned to us by Rancho Cordova Police Department, and at a red light, I had to push. I felt like it was Fred Flintstone. The clutch was so shot that I had to push it to help get it going.
Wow.
It
So
crazy, but,
so for all of us that don't know what a slow ride is, what is the definition of a slow ride?
So the slow ride is, since anybody can see this, in the top right corner is the most common slow ride, which is a rectangle, usually about 2 car lengths or 2 parking spots long, and just as wide as a normal parking spot. So it's roughly 20, 25 feet, 30 feet long, and about 8 to 10 feet wide. And you go as slow as you can from the very beginning to the very end. You can't go outside the lines, and you can't put your feet down.
So you just have to stay balanced, and
it's all about the clutch, throttle, brake, balance, and just not messing up.
So what made you get into doing this part of motoring?
You know what? When I got on the unit, everybody did it. Everybody was all about the riding, the competition, the charity. So Eric mentioned the Southeast Police. You can see the logo there.
Mm-hmm.
I was the president of the Southeast from 2010 to 2017, and our number one charity was COPS, Concerns of Police Survivors, and we gave directly to the children's program that benefits the children of officers who were killed in the line of duty.
Mm-hmm.
And the money we gave them went directly towards their grief counseling and educational benefits. So every year, COPS does a grief counseling program for kids that lost their mom or dad in the line of duty, and the family doesn't pay a dime for any of it.
Nice.
It's all done by COPS, and it helps them rebuild their shattered life. I mean, they just lost a parent, due to whatever it may be, and so that's where the money went, and that's really what got me into it, And then when you travel around to different events around the country, they all give to their own charity,
right?
But it's being a part of that and helping them raise money for that charity. It's just a great feeling. So
is the money raised through like entry fees and I'm sure some merchandising? And
back when I was president, we did have a little bit of merchandising. There was very little entry fees, and usually paid by the departments or the cities that they worked, the agencies that the riders worked for. The majority of the money came from sponsors. Okay. So we had everybody from Pepsi Cola to alcohol distributors to, I got to be honest, a strip club tried one time donating money. But other than the interview I did with them.
I was just going to say, did you have to go check out the place? I got to make sure it's reputable. Is it legit? Is it a legit strip club, sir? I'm going to have to see what kind of,
Exactly. When you see
license check.
Like,
that's funny.
The majority came from sponsors, big money people. Outside the police department, and the other major factor was that the officers, some small agencies don't get the opportunity to train like larger agencies. City of Fort Lauderdale, they trained once a month. Sometimes we'd get a couple extra training days in a month, but that's huge because not only you're doing your police job, but you're on a motorcycle. So not only are you having to watch for bad guys or do whatever you may have to do for work, you've also got to watch for good guys because there's accidents.
Yeah.
People don't always look for motorcycles.
No.
Yeah. So that adds one more level of danger to it.
So that's really good training.
Awesome training, good people. I've met people again from California to Wisconsin and everywhere in between. Just good guys all the way around. So
that's awesome. And when you go to travel to the events, how does that affect your time off? Are you taking vacation or you have like paid time or?
Well, most of the time, if you're going as a group or as a unit, the department lets you go and sends everybody, and you do it on department time as in training time.
Okay.
A lot of events I went to on my own, so I paid my own travel, but I was able to get the city to give me training time as well. All right. So, rather than taking away from time from work, and I still get my paycheck, so to speak.
Right.
I just had to pay to get there.
Right.
And, corporate Harley Davidson was very generous and loaned me motorcycles in numerous places and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's
awesome. Good stuff. So,
was that mainly what you rode? Was Harleys?
Yeah, my entire career we only rode Harleys. Matter of fact, they still ride Harleys. So we rode the Harley Davidson Road King for a few years, and then we went to the Electric Glide, and that's what they still ride today. So yeah.
Because I know some are on BMWs.
Yeah.
Isn't Highway Patrols like on BMWs or something?
CHP has BMWs. They've got some new Harleys too with the 117s, I think they're at now, something like that. But they had some. Rancho Cordova had the Beamers, and he's retired now, but the Manteca Police Department, police chief, he beat me in the overall on the Road King.
Oh, really?
But I rode a BMW in 2006, the 1200, and happened to win. I don't know what. First.
So nice that he's humble.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not me. Come on. Yeah, So most of my career was on a motor, 17 and a half years. And then in 2000, late 2001, early 2002, I made the SWAT team. So I was on SWAT for 6 years, and then became a sniper, and did my last 6 years as a sniper.
Nice. Well, because you said you were a marksman in the Army.
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now I do have some more, because here's your first place right there, up in the top left corner there. I do have a question. we got a handshake.
How you
there.
get Slick Willie?
Yeah.
Hold on. Look at the face I was making.
You loved it.
Look at that face. No.
You know, he's like, you son of a bitch, you're squeezing my hand off. Because I know you gave him a very firm handshake.
Oh, of course. We did a dignitary protection for him for a fundraiser that was here in the city. And not only was I on motors at the time, but it was also on SWAT. So we escorted him there. While I was there, I did some protection on the grounds, and they wanted to get a picture with everybody. And I'm like, really? Do I have to? And he's like, everybody. I'm like, So you can see the look on my face, like.
Well, I like the look on the guy behind in the background. Looks like he's smiling, like, ha.
That guy is a phenomenal canine guy. He retired years ago.
Uh-huh.
His name's Ken Kelly. Phenomenal kid. Probably one of the best, if not the best canine guy I've ever known as an officer.
Nice.
Did you shave your arms, bro? In that picture?
No. I'm Indian. I have no hair still today.
So you did your time in the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, as we've seen there with that nice plaque. You did 20 years.
I did.
And what made you decide to retire?
Well, remember I mentioned number of wives?
Yes.
So there was one.
Okay.
So when there's a one, there's usually, when I give a number, there's probably a two somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to get to a crooked number.
Yeah. Wait. Let's go to two.
Well,
number two.
Well, let's back up first. And I apologize about this. Let's back up, because there was a time you came out here to visit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There was an event.
There was a time, because you were still acting like you were still a police officer.
I was. Yep.
Was it during Christmas? Was it?
Nope. Do you want me to tell you when it was?
I know the year was 2013, right? Because
you're right. It was 13.
No, you made the comment.
It was this time of year. It was this time of year.
No, it wasn't. Well, it was after this. So 2013, I came out and I rode in a competition in Reno. I came out for 2 weeks. I did a competition in Reno. Spent a week at oh my God, Reservoir.
Modesto.
Woodward.
Oh, Woodward. Thank you, Woodward. So spent a week out at Woodward, and then on the last night there, we packed up and moved my sister's trailer, because they were going to go back on for the 4th. They got a really nice RV, fifth wheel. They do a lot of camping. We had to go back to the lake, my brother-in-law and I, to get something. And as we left the lake, while we were driving down McHenry, getting back into town, we were hit head on by a drunk driver. So I don't remember. I don't remember the accident. I don't remember 5 minutes before and 12 days after. Mm-hmm. Zero memory of. They say I was talking to people just like we're talking now while I was in the hospital, but I have no recollection, no memory of it. So
you don't know who came and visited you and all that.
You didn't come though. I know that.
But you did. But you did.
I know you didn't come.
Well, I didn't say I did, and that I do feel bad.
I'm just saying.
No, I know, because there's
I saw the list.
There's a sign-in
book.
I know. There's a sign-in book. There's an ID check.
No. Well, I still don't know if there's even that.
No, I'm sure there is.
I took a chance and figured, well, since he never mentioned he came, that he probably didn't come.
Hence why you said the brain injury earlier.
But if you do know, but I did share and I did repost a lot of stuff. And
absolutely, Eric's a great guy in it.
Well, no, there's just certain things that I can't handle it. I can't handle a lot of things, and that's kind of like
it's kind of why we do this.
Yeah, no.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
You know, it's crazy that time of year, that in 2013 was a very special time. So it happened on June 30th of 2013. On the 28th I turned 39 years old. On the 29th was our 20th class reunion.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, I remember exactly what happened. I remember what I think I was the furthest traveled for that reunion.
Get your trophy.
Derek and I went, had a great time. He ended up staying with my sister's house that night. We had an awesome time. And the next night, well, it happened, So 4 days later, 4 days, no memory.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 days coma, 12 days, no memory total. And on day 12, they moved me to rehab where I lived for 2 weeks, learning how to basically walk and talk again. My speech was definitely impaired. I had a compound fracture of both bones in the lower right arm.
Man, I really just got this overwhelming feeling of what a piece of shit friend I am.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, seriously. But no, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not even
Hold on, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I'm not even going to justify it. Like, I'm not even going to say, well, I did this.
How does it get worse? You already went through the worst part.
No.
Well, no, that's not the worst part.
It's not the worst part.
So I had an impalement on the right thigh all the way to the femur with a piece of metal from the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a traumatic brain injury. So I had a brain bleed on the front and rear of the brain and a contusion on the left side. And the left side controls your speech and your movement, stuff like that. So, and this is not making fun of anybody but myself. So my speech was literally, I talk just like this.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
My brain would. So but I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it when I got out of rehab. Oh, I did. I'll tell you one quick story. Okay. So I get out of rehab and I go back to my sister's house. We stayed there about a week, and we're having lunch one day, and it was just a McDonald's lunch that my brother-in-law brought home, and my brother hadn't seen me out of rehab yet until that day. So I set the timer on the microwave to go off, and it goes off. It goes ding, and I'm literally mowing down on a burger, and I stop, and he's sitting across from me. I look straight up and I go, "Thank Father Don, thank Father Don. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like it?" The look on his face, dude, his jaw dropped and hit the table. Looks at my sister, looks back at me, and he didn't say nothing. But all I could hear, I think of him thinking is, "Oh my God,
Shit, dude.
He's retarded." What else is there?
Oh,
so
no.
after I finished, I just nonchalantly went back to eat my burger, and he's still sitting there like. And my brother-in-law sitting at the end of the table starts cracking up. So I couldn't help, but I started laughing too. So that's just one of the many. The way I figured it, man, it was a severe incident,
right?
But if I couldn't have fun with it, how could anybody else really understand that I was recovering?
Right.
So I had a lot of fun with it.
Apparently. Yeah, apparently. Wow.
Oh, God.
So that was 2013, and then we move on. I was able to recover very well. Went back to I was out of work.
Amazingly,
extremely, yeah. No doubt about it.
I mean,
I've got full movement of all my body and all my parts. My brain works. Meh. Meh.
Sure.
Watch out for microwaves.
Ding.
Ding, Faza done. So I was able to finish out my career and ended up with 20 years, and that's where it gets to your last one of your last questions was why did I retire?
Right.
I left a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
The city of Fort Lauderdale has I could have gone 23 and a third years and retired with much more in my pension, about $1,000 a month, about $12,000 a year. And I could have stayed 8 additional years on top of that in the drop program, which is basically you're retired and your retirement check goes into a drop account. And at the end of your 8 years, you've got that much money in your account.
Oh, wow.
So they estimated it to be roughly $850,000 if I would have stayed 11 years. I chose not to, and not because I'm a good guy. I'm not. Eric can tell you that. I have I have a 14-year-old with my first wife,
Right.
and I now have a 4-year-old with my second wife.
Okay.
And she had moved to Southern California. I was running out of sick time and vacation time because I was going to California on average twice a month.
I was just saying,
Oh,
he was
wow.
he was out all the time.
Wow.
And sometimes even more. But and I was just running out of time, and so I figured it was time for me to retire, start a new career that would give me much more flexibility in time and travel and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's why I retired.
So did you retire pre-pandemic or after the pandemic started?
Just before. So remember the first comment I
Wow.
said, I ended both of my careers at the perfect time.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like,
yeah.
January.
So
because you stopped before all the craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, just not even of pandemic, but everything else that came after that came to light, and cities being burned down and things like that.
BLM and everything else. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I got out of the military just before 9/11, and then got out of I got out of law enforcement just before pandemic, BLM, the movement, so forth.
Right.
So my last day of work
That was really
Friday the
nice the way
13th.
you said that.
Well, let's
The
just leave it there.
Yeah, that was really nice.
We're leaving it right there.
That was really nice.
I lost track of where I was going with
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I apologize about
that. I was very fortunate. So during my accident, or right before my accident, many years before accident, 2010, I met an attorney, Mark Anajar. He now owns a large law firm here in Florida. Phenomenal guy. His business partners, Glenn Levine and his cousin Ellie, both great guys. They sponsored the Southeast Police. I got them to come on board. They were phenomenal helping us out with the funds. With all that being said, when it was coming time to retire, I went to Mark and I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about retiring." And he goes, "You gonna take that job?" And I go, "What job?" He goes, "There's been a job here waiting for you." So I got to back up to tell you what a good guy is, because on my worst day in rehab, and I mean my worst day, had there been a cliff nearby, I might have stepped off it.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
Right.
He said to me, "Oh, this is what you're looking at, da da da." I said, "Mark, what if I can't go back to work?" He goes, you'll be fine. You're going to go back to work." I go, "Mark, what if I can't be a cop?" He goes, "Don, as long as I have a law firm, you have a job."
Yeah.
And of course, from being, what I was, the excuse my language, the shit-sucking fish on the bottom of the ocean, I was floating in the clouds. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. As it went on, I'm like, he just said that to make me feel good.
Right.
Jump forward, 6 years and, tell him I'm going to retire. And he's like, "Hey, there's been a job here waiting for you." And just goes to show what a good guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I literally retired on the 13th of December, 2019. And I went to work for him on the 16th of December, 2019.
Wow.
You didn't even take Christmas off?
No, man. No.
Hardcore.
Got to make that money, bro.
Is there a clip? Isn't there a clip that shows?
I forgot to pull that. The motoring.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I sent like a.
But I did want to, going back to the police.
Yeah.
What is this?
Hold on, I got to cut you off.
Okay.
This is actually a phenomenal pictures to have up this week. So it's National Police Week.
Yep.
Right.
And
bro, we are professional podcasters, bro. We know what we're doing.
Y'all
We
got
brought
lucky.
these on for a reason.
Y'all got lucky, and it's okay.
We didn't get lucky.
Dude, we had you lined up for weeks. I'm sorry. Give us full. I will
regret.
turn my mic off, and I will let you start over and explain to us what we have here.
Watch.
So the Lions' heads are on the end of the memorial wall in Washington, D.C. And on that wall, in the picture to the right, you'll see the names of every officer that was killed in a line of duty in the United States engraved on that wall.
Mm-hmm.
And every year they add names to that wall, unfortunately. And then the papers and pictures you see underneath are that family and or agencies have brought and wanted to put on the wall, and just as a further memory of their lost and loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this I actually knew what this was when I saw the pictures. I wish I could say we knew the police week thing, but
yeah.
I knew what it was when I saw it, and the reason I wanted to make sure we highlight it, not only because Eric found it and it's part of what you did and you had the opportunity to go visit, but we have some. I live in Houston, and we had our Stanislaus County Sheriff in 2016, Dennis Wallace, was basically ambushed down by the river. I mean, the guy had no reason to even go near him, and
He didn't
shot
wait for
him.
backup.
Yeah, he didn't wait for backup, and then the guy was hiding. Could have just probably got away without any further anything, and still went back and shot.
A couple days in
Dennis.
jail because
I know his brother well.
Oh,
Yeah.
D-Dub.
He actually came to see me in the hospital.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's how I met him.
So like, there's a dig there.
Actually, there wasn't. There really wasn't.
Yeah.
But now there is.
But there's actually a picture of Dennis's wife and his brother, I think, at that memorial.
At the memorial.
Either the year after or 2018, I forget.
Typically the year after when they dedicate or engrave the name on the wall, from everybody from the year prior, they say the names and they expect them. Not expect, but the families, when they're treated really well. They're escorted everywhere they go by law enforcement, motor officers, and it's a good experience to be a part of.
Right.
Knowing that you're doing your best and everything you can do to help them rebuild their lives and kind of reliving some of their family member, loved ones' memories.
One of the points to our show is, talking to veterans, and like Eric was saying earlier, last week we were at American Veterans First, and Eric got to see it. It was a little compressed because they're actually changing buildings.
Dude, if you come out, we'll go.
Yeah, but there's been 780 Californians lost in duty since 9/11 that were from California, and which is the largest loss of any state. And they actually have a picture and a little story and how they were lost on every single one of those 780, and the last 4 being our little debacle in Afghanistan. 4 of them were from California. So
right. So with that being said, I'm not going to say that's a little debacle. That's a dumbass president making huge mistakes.
Exactly. My words lately.
I'm the guest that made a mistake on this show.
No, you didn't make a mistake.
You have that one right.
Which one? You're showing me the baking.
Yeah.
I didn't put those up, but I did do this. So because we want to talk about, not only, we got to talk about your military service growing up, your policing, but let's talk about, you've talked about your boys, right? So there's a couple pictures of you and the boys. But and Eric's mad at me because I didn't know what they were.
No,
so I was like, maybe these are just a mistake.
Yeah. I wish we could get them on. I guess I'll just do it this way. So I remember when you retired, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. Doing this, and I remember that you started this. Remember? Started baking.
I've always baked.
And then he's like making cakes and cookies and upside down.
I made my kid homemade chicken nuggets tonight.
Yeah, that's what was
homemade.
It's
nice.
like Betty Crocker, dude. Like Betty Crocker, man.
No, I'm Betty Crocker.
Well, great line from the greatest movie ever. Great line.
But let's talk about that wall that we're looking at on there. Looks familiar.
So that's
actually a different wall because I see some lighter colors. So you must have a couple of those walls.
I actually have 3.
Okay, so
3 walls in my house.
So I see we have a lathe there, and
Mr. Sumner.
That is a lathe. The bottom left side there, that's a wood lathe. It's a mini.
Okay.
So I do make some. Jake, you want to bring me a pepper grinder? I do make some stuff. It's been a little while since I worked on it. Yeah. But one of my favorite things. Bring me the brown one. So I kept what I Nope, the other one. This
The
one
other
looks
brown
too
one.
much like a dildo.
The other brown one. The other brown one.
Yeah.
Get the California brown one.
Oh wow.
And that one doesn't. Look,
Well, I mean that's a really big
just
one.
saying.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
Well, it depends on who you're talking to.
well, boys.
So do you have a?
So I like. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'll
I
go.
like.
I'll go because the problem was he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He acts like he knew what he was doing when he retired. He built a gazebo. He built an arbor. Like
Well, I saw the
those-
I
plant
built that
stand.
for a
the
friend.
plant
I
stand.
built that for a friend's house.
Yeah, you built that for. Yeah, I remember. And the thing is right there in the middle, it's the spindles. It's the wire spindles that he made into a freaking planter. With the
chair and a
chair.
planter.
Yeah, and did you ever send me? Because I knew a couple people were on your Facebook were like, "Dude, send me the check." Remember? They're like, "Hey, send it to me. I'll pay for shipping." Like, you
Send it
really-
to me. I'll pay for
Yeah.
shipping.
I'm not paying to ship that.
Drive it
I'm
out,
not
yeah.
shipping it. It'd be cheaper for you to buy me a plane ticket and come out
Yeah.
and build you one.
Exactly.
So I had one, an extra one, and I put it over and I said, "Hey, anybody wants it? I'll give it to you." So one of the dispatchers, one of the old dispatchers, she's now off doing something else now, but she said, "I'd love to have it." I'm like, "All right, you got it." So I did give her one.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, that's
She's
dope,
local,
dude.
did not
So-
ship it.
So do you have a whole woodworking shop in the garage now, or?
Well, actually, I built a bar, an 11 by 11
Of course,
bar
yeah.
in the backyard. And
Fuck darkness.
since I never used it, I decided, you know what? Let me put the walls on all four sides, and I put two big gates on it, barn gates.
Uh-huh.
So all my woodworking
That you
stuff is
built?
in there.
Of course he did.
That he built.
Of course
Yeah.
he built. Shit.
You know, that goes into my next one.
Eric's just jealous.
Oh,
I had a
I'm
friend
very
one day-
jealous.
one time- I had a friend ask me one time. She goes, "How did you learn to do all this stuff?" And I built her the gazebo, and I go, "Yeah, I really don't know. I just learned." So I asked my brother-in-law, and I said, "Hey, how did we learn to do this stuff?" He goes, "Because we were poor. Because we couldn't afford somebody to fix it, so we tried doing it ourselves, and we figured out how to do it."
Right.
All right, there you go.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's YouTube, right? I mean, one of our last guests, he learned how to play guitar from YouTube
Yeah,
during the pandemic,
that's
and
the
now
one.
he's becoming a country music star.
Scotty
God
Hastings.
bless him.
Yeah.
Hey,
God bless him. That's
legit.
awesome.
That's the one that I was telling you earlier when I called that you got sniped 10 times by the same got shot by the. And I'm not laughing, Scotty, because you
Well,
said
he
we
called
could.
it a rough day.
Yeah, he said it was a rough day. You got shot by one guy. One guy shot him 10
Oh
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
I started laughing, but holy crap! Yeah, you
Yeah.
told me the story. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and
It was-
if you
Yeah.
go through Nashville, you got to go see Scotty.
Yeah, dude. Up and coming, man. There's a couple cats out
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Melvin.
You know,
too.
I did tell Eric, I said, I was never deployed overseas in the military, so I don't have any heroic stories or anything like that. In my career, I've been on SWAT. I saw some things that I choose never to speak to anybody about. I spoke to my counselor about a few times,
Right.
but I've never even told my ex-wives these stories, and I never will. I won't tell them to you guys, and
Yeah.
not you're asking, but there's some things that officers around the country experience, and they'll never tell.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't want anybody else to have to relive
Yeah.
or even think about those moments.
Yeah.
And same with the military.
Yeah.
There's some stories that these servicemen and women won't tell you because they don't want you to have to even think about, what they lived. So
Yeah.
Well, we've
God bless
talked
them.
about it. We've talked about it the last couple shows because that's the whole point to our show is give everybody, a platform to talk.
Mhm.
Eric's talked about what he dealt with his dad.
Yeah.
And my dad was a Marine in Vietnam, and we, last week we were with American Veterans First. We had two Vietnam vets. We had
Dude.
a guy that was in between Korea and Vietnam.
Yeah.
And then we had a World War II
Dude.
vet
That was
who
dope.
was
That would be
97-year-old
awesome.
World War II
97,
vet.
bro. Hey,
Yeah.
when you make another trip out here, let's specifically make sure we get together, and we can go over there and check it out because they have a bunch
mean,
of programs too.
Your show's buying me a ticket, correct? That's what you said.
Dude, hey,
Eric's part of
how
the
much
show
is it? How much is
Mike's
the
part of
ticket?
the show's broke.
They're
I'll
like
get you.
$700 now.
I'll send you gas money.
I'll send
I'll send you guys gas
I
money.
think the gas money is going to be more
Gas would cost
expensive.
more.
Yeah, no
I
shit,
think
no
gas
shit.
would cost more, which is crazy. Thank you,
Right.
President Biden.
Yeah, well, he did that. Anyways,
You know,
the
one
whole
thing
point. Oh, go ahead.
I think what you're about to say is the point of the show, and I'm going to cut you off. But
No, you're
somebody
good.
I told her I have a brain injury, so I gotta say it while I'm thinking about it.
You're the guest.
Yeah. Oh, you're so nice.
The views
Eric,
of
tell me
our
the truth.
podcast do not reflect.
He's gonna be good. I'm not worried about what he's
So I told
doing.
Eric, I said, I don't have any of these heroic stories and stuff from the military, and SWAT was a phenomenal time, awesome. I had people shoot at us. I had things in my scope as a sniper that, I thought I was going to have to, take somebody's life, and unfortunately I didn't.
Right.
I didn't have to. But with all that being said, I think one of the hardest parts for me being prior military and the injuries that I sustained while I was in, and with a lot of the veterans coming home now, is them getting the medical and the treatment they need.
Mm-hmm.
It's so difficult. I've been denied a couple of times for a few things that were legit injuries. I mean, I have my legit medical records still with me, and they're like, no. It's like, how do you deny that? First of all,
denying you?
The VA.
Yeah, the VA is so difficult. You've got to I've been told that you have to submit numerous times and almost be that squeaky wheel.
No, you do.
You do.
You need somebody like my wife who, when my dad was going through it, and you're talking a Vietnam vet who was part of Agent Orange. He was actually, by the time we got through the whole process, he was at like 120%. I think Eric wants to go find his veterans paperwork, but he was at he didn't go that direction. He's going to find that veteran stuff he was talking about. But my dad was he was like 120%. But it took some work to get there. And it took somebody like my wife who was literally a pit bull. And the other thing is using your local government sometimes, like some of your congressmen, because they can push things like that. World War II vet, the founder of American Veterans First was telling us how many World War II vets still hadn't even, there's 60, like 60,000 World
hadn't
War
even
II
activated their stuff,
any of their stuff.
Yeah.
So it was there. They actually have a bill going through with Alan. It's Alan Taylor. And the bill's going through under Alan Taylor's name to give World War II vets.
We got to talk to him.
Yeah, that was
on the
cool.
Contagion Effect.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It was pretty dope. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you need help, let us know. We can help do whatever we need to do.
Find people.
Yeah,
reach out to people.
I got you. And there are a lot of people that are much worse off than I am.
Here we go. This is my. Listen. No, hold on. Much respect, and I appreciate that. But we had Sheriff Dirksey on, South County Sheriff, right? Said similar words to what you're saying. I'm okay. I'm fit. I'm this. I didn't have battle wounds and scars. I came out this and that. It doesn't matter because you took the pin.
Love you, bud.
Good night, Jake. Love you, buddy.
They said good night. Love you.
Good night. Love you, buddy. You took the pin and you signed your name on that.
You served your country.
You served your country. You did what you had to do.
Hey, if you got to give him a hug, go give him a hug.
Give him a hug. Give him a hug.
Give him a hug.
Come on.
I'll go when we're
Come
done.
on.
I mean,
he's gonna go sneak his phone in and try to watch some YouTube.
No, but we'll wrap it up like this. Listen. It's the piece of the pie, bro. You're not taking from somebody that it's all separated. I mean, this is our 23rd episode.
Yes.
And out of the 20 that we've done, because we've done a couple recaps, everyone has said the same thing. Hey man, I didn't feel like I needed this, or I didn't feel like I needed that. It's irrelevant because you signed it. It's already set aside for Don Solinger. It's already set aside for Melvin Gatewood. It's already set aside for whoever signed that line. You're not taking from anyone.
Melvin Gatewood is a VA, and
that's what I'm saying.
Next week we have somebody from the VA as well.
So listen, do me a favor, Don. Go back, watch a couple YouTube videos of what we do. because we're not just blowing smoke up your ass. We're here to help, and we have people that watch and that we bring on for the simple fact because Mike's dad and my dad, which it's Tom, my stepdad, right? Which I hate the word step because he was there since 6th, 7th grade, right? So when Tom passed away,
hold on. There's a difference between your dad and your father.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah,
Eric
I
goes
can get
through
into
that all the time.
Yeah.
Whole nother show for that.
It's not. It's right now. His last granddaughter just turned 18, and there was no phone call. But anyways, I digress. The fact that there's things out there for you, let's just get it done. Like, let's go the next step. And if you got to send a letter every freaking week, dude, print it out on the computer, and this is what I need. And every freaking week, dude, just send the letter.
And
just send the letter.
Not to ride that high horse, but I mean, here's the truth, Don. We're all getting older, right?
Yeah.
What you dealt with back then, and yes, you just had a 20-year career. Those things compound over time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not only just about us, it's about Jake, it's about your younger one, right? There's money due to you for your time and your service. And that you can bank it, because I'm sure you got your retirement now, you got all that. Everything you're doing now is probably to set up the boys, right? And obviously keep yourself going.
I know you're not in California. Okay, this is the Calvet book, dude. Every single page has a benefit for the veterans. Now, obviously, I grabbed this because it came out of American Veterans First out of Riverbank. And they have tons. I mean, there's so much stuff there for veterans. But dude, this book right here is that thick, and every single page. I just open up right here. Here's a directory of this Calvet home loans. Dude, you get a pension. There's a pension portion. I found that strawberry gnat right.
Yeah.
There's so much, bro. And our point is maybe I don't need the Calvet. Maybe I need the National Vet Directory to bring everybody together. But knowing that it's out there, like let's strive to make sure that you get what you deserve, because you deserve it, no matter if you went to war, didn't go to war, wartime, whatever it is.
Well, we got Melvin and our guest next week.
Yeah.
Who they both work for the VA.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, a good tool might be to go to the American Legion Hall. Somebody there might have the national book for you.
Yeah.
Or something like that, if you choose to look for something like that.
Are you preaching to the choir? Is that what you're doing right now?
I'm trying to get my 2 cents, man.
Well, no, that's what we wanted, because I will tell you, once we did it too late for my dad. I mean, I think we did it he was diagnosed with lung cancer in, I believe, 12. I want to say around 11 or 12. And that's when we finally started chasing down stuff. And I couldn't believe the amount of stuff that he could have got that we never did. And I wish we would have started it earlier for him, just because it would have made everything a lot better. And having, again, my wife, we call her paparazzi here because she come take pictures.
She's the one that takes pictures.
Yeah. But she was the number one, just working full time, being a mom, and literally just hounding the VA. I mean, we got his care waived to local hospitals because we're literally 2.5 hours to 4 hours away from every hospital.
Yeah.
So all his cancer care got taken care of locally until they said no more, and then he literally passed within 6 months of that. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
After we got it going back, it's since 2015.
Such a straight shooter, dude. No bullshit. I mean, yeah.
Oh, it was.
Eric, you think that
you dealt with it? There? You dealt with it during that time, and I love the guy. And a couple weeks ago, found a letter that he wrote me when I was 2, while he was in the Marines. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that gets me going.
Did he tell you to stop being a pussy?
Yeah. Not at that time. He was a Marine.
Come on.
He was a Marine. So.
I was going to say he's a Marine.
Oh, you got to listen. A couple weeks, we're going to have a young kid from our town who went to the Marines. And I have a letter that my wife found it was printed in the 60s, and it says, "What is a Marine?" And it's got I can't wait to read it, because everybody's going to get a kick out of it. Oh, it's colorful. It's colorful. So good stuff. Man, Don, that was man, I so appreciate you. We appreciate your service, appreciate your time. You know, we're staunch supporters of our police and our sheriffs, and you know, we love you guys. We need you guys.
100%.
Yeah. So, you know, we appreciate everything you did.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And, you know, I appreciate being the, 5th or 6th on the list to come on the show tonight. I mean, it's, at least I wasn't further down.
No, you weren't even that far down.
Look, I've got less wives than I was the choice for the week.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I know we didn't get past 2. When you started the first thing, I thought we were going way past. We were like, oh, all right, we're going 3, 4.
Boy.
No, they're for there to be a 3, there needs to be a really airtight prenup. She needs to be extremely beautiful,
rich.
That's where I was going next. Rich. And note somewhere in there that I get something when she decides to go. Right?
When she decides to go.
A little reverse right there. Yeah.
I like how he
Look,
when she decides to go.
Hey, I'm not the easiest guy to live with. I'm not totally, innocent in both of these.
Is this the freaking dating game or some shit like the new?
Don is single. He
Dude,
is moving
I'm just
to
saying.
Texas.
Hey, way to go.
Single. I'll be living in McKinney, Texas.
25, 25, right here, 25, 30, 30.
I will be living in a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house.
21 to 30-year-olds.
No, hold on.
No way.
No.
I'm just kidding.
That is.
I'm going to be 47.
8.
7.
You got to be around
I
it.
I got a brain injury.
We're all the same age.
You're
the only one who's retired from a job, though.
Dude,
that's all working.
I'm jealous.
Well,
no.
Too. I'm not
You're
retired.
You retired from.
I'm retired from corporate America.
Yes.
So
yeah, you retired.
I'm looking to get in there.
No,
I'm too stupid.
Don't.
Yeah, don't.
No, you're smart. Stay away from it. It's not even. Especially nowadays, they could care less about actual people.
We have.
I will say, one of the best parts of my career is meeting people. On an average day, I met probably 15 to 20 new people a day. Whether they stayed in my life or not, I still met them.
Yeah.
And there are some who have stayed in my life for 20 some odd years. And, with me moving, it just so happened one of them texted me asking me for a favor. So the favor he asked me, I asked the person that needed the help if they knew anybody. And he put me in contact with somebody who put me in contact with somebody. And, things work, I don't know 100% how either of you are,
there's a reason that you're going there.
Religiously,
yeah.
But obviously the reason I'm going to Texas is for my sons.
Yeah.
Right.
Being a dad to me is number one in this life.
Yeah.
If I can't raise both my kids, then I'm failing.
Yeah. You're not a piece of shit.
And for me, I think even as a police officer, and regardless of what people think out there, you have the ability of those 15 to 20 people of impacting them 2 different ways. And the way you impact them is their choice.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, right? And
absolutely right.
Let's be real. Your whole day isn't spending time arresting people. Your day is talking to people, trying to talk them down from things, talk them up, whatever it may be. So that's, to me, that's a huge impact, because I know, my neighbor was, and they've since moved to Oklahoma, and, he's told me stories about some of the things he went through. He said, my first thing isn't to pull the trigger. He's like, I've had to pull it out once in his 20 years. And he's like, and I didn't want to. And he's all, I did everything to not. And luckily it worked out that way. But, his first thing was to talk the person down.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm very fortunate. In 20 years, I never had to do that. And came very close a couple of times. But in 20 years, very quick story. I arrested a guy one time. One of numerous people I arrested over the years. While I was out in public one day in plain clothes, guy comes up to me, and I recognized him immediately. And he goes, "Hey, are you so-and-so?" And I'm like, "No, man." He goes, "You look a lot like him." I'm like, there's two people this ugly in the world? Nah, it's hard to believe. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like, man, I swear, why? I said, why do you think I'm him? And he goes, well, I just wanted to say thank you if you were. He goes, because he arrested me and I arrested the guy. He said he arrested me and he changed my life.
Wow.
I got my stuff straight. I this and that. He goes, and it was about 3 or 4 years after. He goes, I met a woman. We're going to get married. He goes, I just want to say thanks. So even if you aren't, thanks. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I appreciate it, but I'm like, I'm sorry. I work for the trash service. It's not me though. And out of 20 years, he's the only person that ever saw me in civilian world and tried to thank me. So I thought it was pretty cool. Very rewarding. Enjoyed my career, and I'd do it again.
Yeah. Well, and it's sad
awesome.
you couldn't, you had to sit there and worry, okay, what's going to happen next? But instead of hearing,
absolutely,
instead of hearing the kudos, that's the sad part, especially if this was at the tail end of your career, early in your career, it wasn't so bad.
This was early in the career. This was actually early in the career.
Oh,
but still,
all right.
Early. Well, I'd say about 15 years.
Okay.
But still, it's family was there, and I'm like,
yeah. So
no,
I get it.
But it's all good. It's a lot of people did a lot worse than I ever did, and I'm very fortunate in life, and keep on living and have a good time.
Well, Don, regardless of what you thought, you still had a great story.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, we so appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Appreciate you answering the phone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was number 4 or 5 on the list.
No.
I had talked to Mike about it before.
You've already been brought up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that. It was.
Yeah.
And it all happened like
real quick. So. Like Mike didn't even see the email.
Yeah. I got a call. Don't read your email.
I truly appreciate it, guys. If nothing else, Jake will get a kick out of it, and he'll tell us, "Oh, my dad was on a podcast."
Yeah, he's on YouTube. No, all you got to do is go to YouTube.
YouTube.
They love YouTube. I'm sure he watches some videos.
Maybe we'll get a subscriber out of it. Maybe we'll go to 72.
Yeah. We need subscribers.
You're probably going to go to 73.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Don't get us too excited, though.
Yeah.
Don't get us too excited. Yeah,
you might be the one that breaks the 100 view mark.
There you go.
That would be nice.
You better get your ass going, because I think Zach's actually right about 99.
Yeah.
So,
all right, sir.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you guys do.
It was.
I'll be giving you a call tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Follow up. Let's see how you did. Give you your grade.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate you, man.
Take care, guys. Have a great night.
Right. Bye. Oh, that was all again, dude. Man. We get through them, and man, we were trying to cut it, and just the stories kept coming, the conversation kept going. So, it's gonna be another show where we kind of go right from there.
Yeah.
Right. So,
I think,
man.
Yeah, I just great stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't talk to the guy for a while, and that's the good thing about social media, and it's also the shitty thing about social media.
Hey, Don, we see you.
Yeah, hey, dummy.
You're just not on YouTube. We see you though. We can't hear you.
I can't hear you though.
We have you off the. Oh, that was just to give the audience a little
beautiful
visual. We got flipped
beautiful.
off, which is awesome. That's the great thing about StreamYard.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But Eric, with that, did you have something else?
No, we're good, buddy.
You're good.
Yep.
All right. Deuces.
Deuces.
We'll go. Let's see if we get this.